as we've observed the victims of the US people. We appreciate that. We appreciate their endeavors. We appreciate their assistance to Afghanistan from Europe and from the others. We would like these countries to have patience and to remember the victims of Afghan people. That during about this war, this is not about our people's war. It was a war that our people had become victims. And even in the war against the terrorism, Afghan people had become victims.
President Hamid Karzai said the Al-Qaeda leader's killing showed the fight against terrorism should be focused in neighbouring Pakistan. We hope that terrorist activities will cease after Osama bin Laden's death. That was his punishment, but the world should also realise what we've repeatedly said all along. The war against terrorism should not be fought in Afghanistan. It should be carried out in his safe haven, sanctuary and training camp, not in Afghanistan, and today this has been proved right. Turkish President Abdullah Gül said bin Laden's killing proved that all terrorist group leaders would eventually face justice. This shows that terrorists and terrorist group leaders are caught in the end, whether dead or alive. With the most dangerous and sophisticated terrorist organisation leader in the world being caught this way, it should be a lesson to everyone, and I'm very glad. However, British Prime Minister David Cameron struck a cautious tone, welcoming bin Laden's death, but warning that the threat of global terrorism had not yet been defeated.
This news will be welcomed right across our country. Of course, it does not mark the end of the threat we face from extremist terror. Indeed, we'll have to be particularly vigilant in the weeks ahead.
Pakistan is effectively sheltering terrorists. Joining us now is India's Home Minister, who is amongst the first to make that very strong observation. Mr. Chidambaram, at this point, what do you make of everything that your government knows at this point? Do you believe that Pakistan was also involved in helping the Americans take out Osama bin Laden, or do you believe that this was essentially an American intervention? And what does it say for our security concerns in the region?
Well, I don't want to speculate whether the Americans told Pakistan before the operation or not. But at some point of time, they would have taken Pakistan into confidence, at least when they took the body of Osama bin Laden out of Pakistan. But I think the more relevant one is the second part of your question. As far as we are concerned, this does not mean the end of terror. Al-Qaeda did not directly threaten India. The organizations that directly threatened India and continue to threaten India are the Lashkar, the LET, Jaish-e-Mohammed and the Hizbul Mujahideen.
First Chechen war in the 1990s, bin Laden said to have offered volunteers money and guns to fight in Chechnya. Many hundreds signed up. Moscow crushed the fighters, but sparked a deadly insurgency led by a succession of warlords. But what began as a regional war of independence is now viewed as being driven by a largely foreign-inspired Islamist agenda.
There is a lot of copycat activity in North Caucasus. The Chechen rebels and the other Islamic
own bin Laden, Doku Umarov. He too has evaded capture for many years, the mastermind behind a series of attacks on Russia's transport system. Last year's deadly suicide attack here at Park Kulturi Station struck at the heart of Russia, a warning to the Kremlin and a warning to the Russians.